Hello and welcome to our first mock draft of the year. This is the fanpub.com.
Looking forward to this one. This is going to be exciting.
Sean's with me again, so this is your host Alan Roberts. We're just going to we're doing a 14-team mock draft.
And as we always pick near the end, we decided to pick 14 to show what you could do.
Yeah, we always get the late pick, so this is a bit of practice for us, and we're going to do probably best player available.
Yeah, standard scoring, isn't it?
Yeah.
Usual positions: one flex, two wide receivers, two running backs, and one quarterback league. Defense and a tight end.
We're using Fancy Pros as the draft wizard. It's a really good tool for practicing, or just seeing what sort of players you can get at the moment.
Yeah, so we're hoping that you can see what can be done even picking last in these kind of leagues, because this year we think round one is actually quite exciting. So let's crack on and see what we can do.
Okay.
See if we can build a team people like.
So David Johnson off the board first, and then Bell and Elliott. So no surprises there, really. So
yeah, go through the order of who went off the board so everybody can hear that.
So David Johnson went first, Lev Bell second, Ezekiel Elliott third.
So that's a standard three, isn't it?
Yeah, Brown fourth.
That's
pretty standard. Julio Jones 5, McCoy 6 is
that's quite early.
That plus Beckham, so is 7, Evans 8.
That's a good. Somebody got a bargain if that happened in the league. Evans at 8 is quite a nice player to fall there, isn't
he? Green at 9, Nelson at 10, Howard at 11, Gordon at 12, and Freeman at 13.
That's pretty good. Okay.
So we're faced with a decision. We've got DeMarco
There's
Murray.
good players here. I mean, you've got Murray, Hilton, Ajayi, and Michael Thomas. I'm actually quite happy to rely on the ADP here. I think DeMarco Murray.
Yeah, I'm happy to take.
How would you feel about? Do you have any debate on the other ones, or you feel comfortable with that first round?
I'm happy to take DeMarco Murray. He's been there and done it. He showed he could do it in this team. So a second year in, I can't see why that.
I mean, I like all four of those players. For me, I know you're not such a fan of JJ, but I don't think we need to debate.
Well, I don't mind JJ this sort of range. I just wouldn't have picked him.
Yeah, but this is a great range for DeMarco.
So we're both agreed.
We can have the bounce back picks, and we can decide how we want to balance this team. So we've got the balance.
So we've got two of these basically, haven't we?
Yeah, so now I think we should look to balance. So if I'm being honest, what I mean by that is obviously we've got one running back we like, we think is going to be a 1. So now we need to balance it. So we're going to look at a wide receiver potentially. And there's T.Y. Hilton and Michael Thomas. Now, both of those I like for this year.
Yeah, I mean, Thomas is now the undisputed number 1 now. Cooks has gone, so we might get a bit more attention. Hilton's been there and done it.
I like him.
I think I prefer him.
I think the season looks good for the Colts. Everything bodes well. I think, yeah, T.Y. Hilton for me as well. That's nice to see. So we've already started the year off. We both agree.
Yeah,
that's a good start.
That's unusual.
That's a good start. So that's nice. Okay, so now it gets more interesting because we're picking at the end around 3.
Yeah, a lot of the good quarterbacks came off the board. So that takes that decision out of maybe taking a lock or a
our first serious risky players now. We started to look at our first 2 players we want to lock, and now we start looking at some risk. Yeah. Okay, so let's look at the options that we've got available.
Well, at quarterback we've got Drew Brees, Andrew Luck.
Yeah.
We're both a fan of both of those.
Both of those I don't mind at all. They're very solid.
Mixon, we both like his talent.
Yeah.
You like his opportunity. I'm less inclined.
Yeah.
CJ Anderson is a no for me.
No, agreed. Yeah.
Ingram.
I like, so it's okay, but it's a little bit high price for me here. Still, that's round 3. I'm not so keen on.
Yeah, the top 3 tight ends are off the board.
I'm not going to touch Ingram or Ware. Pryor, I do like. I think he's worth his value, and then it just starts getting a bit sketchy there. If you want the safe pick, it's Jarvis Landry at 52 because he's incredibly safe for 160. But there's no excitement, so I think we'll look at other players. I think in this case.
You know who I'd take?
Go for it.
Andrew Luck.
I'm going with you. I'll go with that. Yeah. I'm happy to do that because I think we've got a balance in our team.
He'd be number 2 in my quarterback list.
And I would agree with you.
I like Brees as well, but I'd take Luck just above him.
I'm going to go with that because we've already got a nice balance anyway.
And we've got the stack with Hilton as well.
And that makes us feel pretty good, I think.
And of course, we've got the bounce back pick, so...
Yeah. So we've still got the other options. So can we now take a slight risk at this point? Having 3 great players, can we take Mixon? Go for that.
For me, it's too risky. I'd rather take Terrell Pryor or...
Well, I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll go away from the risk at this point, saying, okay, the risk is still too high, Sean. Let's tailor in your enthusiasm and take Terrell Pryor because we like the situation. How's that?
Yeah, I'm happy with that.
Yeah, that way we still get a great player. There's no risk involved. The ceiling's a lot higher. We'll look at risk later. That's how we're going to look at it. We're now going to have to wait a while.
Adrian Peterson's just gone off really early.
Yeah, and I think there's going to be more of a trend on it. And we got an interesting one here because the cuff's still available for our top man.
Yeah.
That's rare. That doesn't happen very often.
And we got the bounce back pick, so we've got 2 picks here, haven't we? So.
Really interesting. So let's just quickly go through the dynamic of our team, because I think this has actually worked out very well.
Well, we've got 1 QB, 1 running back, and 2 wide receivers.
So wouldn't it be wonderful if we could nab 2 running backs here? And guess who's here? We've got 2 great running backs.
Frank Gore and Derrick Henry.
Wouldn't that be a great 1-2 punch?
I'm very happy with that.
See, I'd do that because I think
Frank Gore's steady and Derrick Henry.
Derrick Henry's a little bit. You could argue we've kind of wasted a pick because we're kind of putting a handcuff. But Derrick Henry has standalone value.
Although there is Mike Gillisley as well.
Ah.
Who we both like a lot.
Have we already picked Gore?
No.
Let's take Gillisley and take Henry. Let's go with our hunch.
Would you not rather take the?
Well, Gillisley adds huge upside and a massive offense.
So we'll take Gillisley there.
And then we'll take Derrick Henry because he has standalone value in case anything goes wrong with Gillisley.
Did you take him over Frank Gore then?
Yes, I would in this situation. Yeah, I would.
Okay.
And I'd be very happy with that too.
Because you know if Murray goes down, you're guaranteed an RB1. Really.
You are.
He's that good, isn't he?
But you've also got standalone value, which is very rare in a running back. So you can play both, which is great. Oh, there's some interesting players here as well.
Yeah, well, I like the look of the wide receiver available.
Yeah.
So we got 2 of these, remember? So
yeah, we got some options here. So let's go through, talk through what's available around this number.
Okay, well we're not interested in a quarterback. Running back, we got Pirine, Jonathan Stewart, Matt Forte, Latavius Murray, could be the number 1 at Minnesota, Kareem Hunt, pro size, and then we've got Willie Snead, who's very interesting.
Yeah, he's at the right point of this draft.
We've got Pierre Garçon, who just moved to the 49ers, but he's going to be their RB1, wide receiver 1.
Yeah.
Corey Davis, an exciting rookie, Rashawn Matthews, who we're both quite a fan of.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot here to that interests me. I mean, I must be honest. I like Snead and I like Matthews, and I think that's one of those 2, or even maybe both, is a great balance here. We've got the bounce back. Which of the players stands out the most to you?
I would probably. Would I balance it out? Snead, I'm very happy with. So let's
I think we take Snead because we know we've got another pick to come, so we can afford to. Okay, so now it gets more interesting.
No, do we take a chance? Probably our RBs. I mean, if Gillisley doesn't get that job, we think he will. We're pretty certain he will.
Yeah, I'm pretty certain.
But it's a crowded backfield, so there's a chance he doesn't.
All right.
We've got Derrick Henry, who is has
standalone value, so you can play me.
It might. Yeah.
All right, so.
Might not be enough.
So would you go Sanjay Kareem and look for the players to come in as the season progresses?
Or there's Jonathan Stewart, who you know is going to play, or Latavius Murray, who you know is going to play.
I'm not so keen on Murray.
I don't like Murray, but he's low enough. He's going to get the goal line carries at Minnesota.
Yeah, that's true.
It's not going to be McKinnon, is it?
I mean, again, we're not looking really to start him necessarily. It's more.
You haven't got Asiata there, like nicking the goal line.
You are right. Okay, let's go to Latavius
Just
Murray.
for touchdowns, you can throw him in.
Just because the offense and the situation and the way our team.
Ryan's got a big upside if he gets that Washington job.
But it's if, whereas Murray will get something.
Although their running backs don't tend to score big points, do they?
I think you may be on something with this. So the kind of team we've got, it's not like we have to absolutely start Murray. It's just there.
He is a bye week 9, same as Gillisley, but that's not really a problem.
We can live with that. 9 weeks into the season, you can worry about bye weeks later.
Yeah. We'll have already binned him off a team by then.
We may well have been sold off to something else. Okay, it gets interesting. So let's quickly recap who we've got on our team.
So we've got Andrew Luck, quarterback. Running back, we have DeMarco Murray, Mike Gillisley, and Latavius Murray, and Derrick Henry.
Yeah, so we're pretty loaded that. We do need some wide receivers then.
Wide receiver, we've got Hilton, Pryor, and Snead.
That's pretty good, actually. So we've still got lots of options open to us.
Yeah, we haven't got a tight end yet, but we're not going to worry about that yet.
Okay, so let's look at the options around this area for us.
So at running back, we've got Terrence West.
Yep.
It could be, he's probably going to get 4 weeks' work.
Yeah.
James White, Super Bowl MVP, but he's probably a pass catcher only, and they've got 2 of them.
I don't think we need to worry about it. We've got enough running backs not to really look at the list at this point. I think we should be looking elsewhere. Maybe another wide receiver.
Yeah, there's nothing there that really excites you.
Got to be another wide receiver balance.
Unless Rex Burkhead, who obviously we could look at later. Parker.
Too glass for me. I can't trust him.
Kenny Britt, Cleveland.
Yeah.
Brown, Rashawn, and Nunwa.
Nunwa would probably be the pick of the bunch simply because of the workload. If nothing else, volume alone tells you there's some value there.
You've got to. I mean, they've cut Decker, they've got rid of Marshall.
They've
got to throw to somebody.
It's the volume alone. We've already got 3 wide receivers we can trust.
Would you take him above Parker?
Yeah, I probably would. I mean, Devontae Parker is glass, but there is an upside to him. I mean, I suppose I think Parker's capped by injuries and Tannehill, whereas Nunwa is going to be capped by a number of things, which I suppose is
his quarterback, his team.
So maybe we have to go Devontae Parker to put him in with the other receivers we've got. It's not ideal. Yeah. I'm not 100% happy with it, but then it's not like I'm leaning.
There's no one there that really excites you. You think, oh yeah, I wouldn't mind him.
No.
I mean, the running backs, no. I mean, the wide receivers, Anumwa, we like his talent, but maybe not his situation.
Or maybe we go Parker with just simply.
I think we've got to go Parker, haven't we?
Just simply because it's not like we're leaning on him. It's just that he's there in case of glass. No disrespect. In case of emergency, break glass.
And of course, we got the bounce back pick, so.
Yeah, well, we're at a point now in the draft where we're going to start looking at some of the other positions, maybe the tight end, maybe, but we'll see what's available.
Well, Fleener is still there. Terrence West is obviously, they're all still there because obviously we've got the bounce back pick, but.
Is there anything clever you would do here, or do you just think you keep it simple? Would you be taking anything unusual, or would you just say let's just keep building our squad? I think we probably just have to keep building.
John Brown could be alright.
John Brown, what about Nunwa now then on the bounce back?
Yeah, Nunwa, don't mind.
Or John Brown, and hope that he gets his opportunity. Or I've got a little bit of a problem with John Brown. I'm beginning to sort of not like what I'm hearing. There's a lot that's not building my enthusiasm for the pick. Whereas a few weeks ago I was a bit more interested. I think Nunwa at least, although I know the difficulties of the Jets, there's volume, and that could be very good.
What about Kenny Britt? He's going to get... You know, Corey Coleman's had injuries as well.
I don't mind.
They're going to throw a lot.
I don't mind Britt.
He did all right on the Rams on the port.
I would happily go Britt. He's big enough. He's had 1,000 yards. He could.
What do you think, Britt or Enunwa then?
Britt over Enunwa. Being honest, and you take out the equations, it's got to be him. Again, it's not exciting, but it will do the job. Now it gets more interesting because we're really at the depth of our team now. We need to really find some value here. Got to find some sneaky players. Really feels late into the draft at this point, doesn't it?
Yeah, so now we're looking at we've got Njoku at a tight end or Hooper.
It's cheap value for Alvin Kamara there.
Yeah, it's a crowded backfield though, isn't it?
Shot to nothing there, isn't it? Yeah, it is.
But then, what about Jonathan Williams? He's quite. Would you take Kamara first?
No, I'd probably take Jonathan Williams first because the opportunity if McCoy goes down, or I would take Ted Ginn here. Because Ginn has value.
Would you take him with Josh Stockton?
Yes, because it's New Orleans Saints. So yes, I would.
So he's a deep threat.
He's a deep threat, and you're not going to use him most of the time, but occasionally you need to roll the dice and throw something.
Right, we probably need to look at another running back here. So we've got the balance or a tight end. We haven't.
Well, let's go with another running back before they thin out so much. Whereas tight ends, we're still going to be able to get something. It's still enough.
We're down to 20.
Well, there's still enough. There's enough out there.
Okay, so you still got Matthew Stafford.
Backup. I don't mind him as a backup QB. At all. I don't mind that pick. What about running backs though?
I'm just checking. I mean, you don't really need a backup quarterback with luck, do you?
Not really.
He's not matchup dependent.
Any other running backs that? Yeah, there is one other running back worth a shot at this point. Deontay Foreman's worth a go here. That's late enough that it's worth the risk.
Above Alvin Kamara.
In case Lamar Miller falls over and doesn't do well, he gets his opportunity. Perhaps that is a great pick here. Agree with that?
I'm not. There's no one I'm overly excited about to say.
So you look for a risk over reward. If it's nothing exciting, let's go for something that could be.
We did probably need a running back.
It will help us. We could have got John. He went, which was inevitable because we're now going to have to wait a long time. We've got to look at tight end now as well. These two picks. We've waited a long time here, so you just see who the best tight end is and then make a decision.
Well, I'm looking at them. I mean, Zach Miller, Chicago.
I'd probably take Jesse James, but it's not. I mean, you could probably wait another two rounds for Jesse.
Yeah, so we wait and hope we get Jesse James.
I think so.
We got the next two picks, remember?
Yeah.
Taylor Gabriel got a bit of upside.
Yeah, that's okay. We are at that point of the draft though, so it's we could get James Conner for the same reason if Bell goes down. You see, that's quite a sneaky pick there.
Yeah, I don't mind doing that
because we're later.
Plenty of upside, isn't there?
In case
if he does get the,
we're looking at redraft, we're looking at opportunity, and you just never know. And then we need probably another wide receiver.
We do need a tight end at some point.
We can risk it. There's a few still out there, so we can grab another decentish wide receiver, someone who you could.
Taylor Gabriel. Are you interested in him?
Well, I'm not.
Davon Austin.
I'm gonna go with your judgment because you seem to be quite good when we reach these rounds. You pick out some good stud players who turn out quite well for the year. So I'll go with Taylor Gabriel here. I'll back it.
Just looking to see if there's anyone else.
There's nothing else on that list that massively excites me, which is the concern. Is there? Well, there is the other option, of course, is we look at a tight end, a quarterback, but none of those quarterbacks now are worth reaching for. There's nobody on that tight end list that would massively excite me. I'm not going to reach for a defence. You got Zay Jones, which is quite good. That's a nice pick there for a wide receiver. Again, a developing player. I know it's a rookie, but it's late enough.
They don't throw a lot though, but I suppose at least I don't mind throwing a few darts at him.
It's worth a shot because we're at that point of the draft. We already have solid starters and backups. We're looking at.
I mean, Gabriel will be the other one, probably.
Yeah. But who would you rather? Who has the better opportunity and upside? It's got to be Zay Jones, and they're all talking him up. There's got to be a chance there he'll turn out to be something for use for year one. It's not a bad pick, is it? Talk us through our team.
Well, it might be.
give a reminder. Now we're at that point. We have to take a tight end, don't we?
Yeah. Or I haven't put defence in for some reason, but never mind. I think I took it out.
Oh, okay. Well, fine. So it's tight end and kicker left. Is that all we've got to fill?
Yeah.
Okay. So a tight end. There's quite a few still out there. I mean, you would. There's a few here worth a shot, aren't there? Who have we got left?
Charles Clay, Jesse James.
Yeah, I'll take Jesse James.
We'll take Jesse James.
Take Jesse James to fill it, and then as you've got no defence, we'll take a kicker to finish off. That isn't a bad squad. We can quickly talk it through what we like, what we don't like.
We don't have to take a kicker. Give a kicker later if we want to take. I mean, this is quite a good thing to do sometimes.
All right. So if we leave the kicker off, thinking that we'll just take another pump before the season starts and see if we can find another player. Is there anybody on that list that you really like? I mean, they've got some great defences still. I mean, funny enough, hardly any defences have gone off the board here. Look, we still got Denver.
Well, they won't because there's no slot for it.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's why nobody's gone. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why they're all
right.
still there.
You did tell me. There's nothing exciting there, Al.
They're looking. There might be a bargain basement down the bottom. Doesn't look like there is though.
So the only thing I see is Brian Hill late for
Robbie Anderson. I mean, he started. I mean, Funches has got to start pretty much as well.
Yeah. Nothing that stands out. I'm happy to go with whatever you decide.
Better Laquan Treadwell.
That's a gamble pick at the end. Okay, let's go with that.
I mean, we're taking him instead of a kicker because.
Well, we're just going to see how it pans out during training camp. Is what you're saying? It's not a bad idea.
And if we don't like him, we'll.
So let's go through our depth. They're obviously not going to like us because we didn't take a kicker.
Got a D.
Yeah, well that's okay. But let's be honest. Forget their rating because we didn't take a kicker, so they're not going to be happy about that. Let's look at what we've got and be honest. So let's start with.
So we've got Andrew Luck. You're very happy with him.
So you know you've got an elite quarterback until his bye week. We still would have to pick one up at some point and drop somebody, but that is not a concern of yours. We do like that upside. Okay, what are our two main starting running backs and what are their backups?
So you've got DeMarco Murray and Gillespie. I'd be very happy in a 14-team league to get them too.
And you've got the option that if Gillespie doesn't work out, you still can play Derrick Henry. There is some standalone value.
Plus we got Latavius Murray, who's the likely start.
I think that's a pretty strong.
Certainly the goal.
That's a very strong running back squad.
And then we've got a couple of rookies that if they take off in Foreman and Connor.
And talk to me about exactly. And talk to me about the wide receivers, how they're looking.
So we got T.Y. Hilton. He's been there and done it last few years.
Solid.
We got the stat. We look there.
Yeah, solid.
We got Terrell Pryor.
Yeah, we like him for this year, so that's another strong pick. Okay, if we have to flex a wide receiver, who have we got?
We've got Willie Snead, who's going to be number 2 in a great high-powered offense.
Real good chance for 1,000 yards plus and touchdowns to match.
We've got Parker if he stays fit.
A lot of experts like him. I'm not so keen, but I think in the situation we picked him in, I'm okay with that. That doesn't bother me there. I think that was late enough to say yes. Okay.
Yeah, he's our third player. We got Britt and Kenny Britt and Ted Ginn. So.
That's not a bad force. That's not a bad pick.
Plus, we got Zay Jones and Treadwell, who are 2 young players that who knows what can.
I don't think that's a bad squad for picking 14. I'd be very, very happy that. I don't think we'd ever do that in our own 16-man redraft league, just because those additional 2 rounds and how tough it is to get these kind of players. But that's a good team in a 14-man. What do you think?
I'm very happy with that. One player I'm not so sure is Derrick Henry, but I'm not sure if he has got standalone value with Murray playing.
He did last year. There were moments he shone.
Yeah, moments. That's what I mean. If you're looking for consistent, for a high pick, maybe. I don't know.
But the one thing it does do, it guarantees you the number 1. That's the advantage.
And that's the thing with taking Murray.
It's so hard in any big league to hold the number 1 running back all season. You pretty much guarantee.
And they both will do well.
In a high-powered offense. So, as much as it could be just a holding move, it still has some value. And I think you will see that more and more as the season unfolds. But it's not what we think; it's what you think that counts.
Okay. Well, yeah. I mean, leave your comments. Is it a good team? Is it a bad team? Where would you be worried about? Is there any picks that you liked? And thanks for watching this video.
See you again soon.
And we'll see you again soon.